W265CD Madison. Take us anywhere on the free iHeartRadio app. Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Network is on the air. Talking Golf is brought to you by American Transmission Company, ATC, helping you keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong. American Family Insurance, insure carefully and dream fearlessly. Oak Park Place, offering senior living options for the lifestyle you deserve, with amenities and services for a carefree, independent way of life. And by the Princeton Club, a premier health club that combines state-of-the-art equipment with a highly trained staff and convenient locations. Now, here are your co-hosts of Talking Golf, Dennis Tiziani and Paul Brown.
And welcome to another round of Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network. We're at Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown. On tonight's show, we're going to have a couple of guests and a lot of discussion about a lot of different things. And the two guests on the program tonight, we're going to check in again with Bobby Stricker and talk to her about her performance on the Symetra Tour. And all golfers know that there's going to be new rules in 2019. And John Morissette, who's deeply involved in rules in golf, he's the director of competition and marketing at Aaron Hills over in the Milwaukee area. And he's going to be joining us on the show. And we're going to go over some of the new rules in golf and see who agrees with what. We're obviously going to talk about the PGA, and we're also going to talk about the Ryder Cup. They are now in a position where they know 8 of the 12 players that are going to be competing for the United States in the Ryder Cup, and that comes up in September. Tiz, welcome to the show. I'm going to start out with a subject here. Obviously, let's talk about the PGA to start this and get it rolling. Brandel Chambly, who's very opinionated, but obviously I think you'd agree, pretty good at knowledge in terms of golf, made the statement after the PGA Championship this weekend, the greatest comeback in the history of golf, obviously talking about Tiger Woods. At one point, he was all the way down to 656 in the ranking in the world, and he's now up to 26. Do you agree with its greatest?
But the comeback isn't in one event. The greatest comeback in golf is PGA. He went from whatever he was,
but he's
10th
also
to 2nd.
talking about the year and the surgeries and where he was at his height.
That may be.
If where he went to and where he's back to now.
Not just the PGA. You're talking overall. Well, I would agree overall. That's he's really playing good. I think we made this comment. I've never seen his swing structurally better than it is right now. It's phenomenal. I hope he can keep that up. I just don't. I hope that the next vertebrae or two up don't break down, because he's doing pretty much the same thing. He's got high torque. He kicks his left knee back like he did before when he broke it. I mean, if you want to talk about something that he is a comeback. I mean, he won a U.S. Open with a broken leg.
Yeah.
Now that's something. He really played good, but he played good in this event. I was pulling for him to continue the fine play. It would have been nice, I think, to see him win. Although there were some other players in there who played a whole lot better.
We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Do you believe Tiger is back?
Sure. As far as competitive?
Yeah.
Oh, no question. No question. As long as he has enough shirts to change when he gets too hot, or, the drama is enough to get you. Well, he doesn't buy too much. I don't know what he buys. Still buying his way out of all the problems. But, you just have to give him credit. He drove it not so good, maybe, but those iron plays. And probably the most impressive thing was to me how much his putting has improved fundamentally, which then led to, what comes first, confidence or good shots. And I say neither. Fundamentals come first. Then you make good shots, you get confidence. And he did that. That was not easy putting, what they were doing. And it was very electrifying. I mean, just to watch it coming from so many angles. But it can't overshadow. And unfortunately, the media did overshadow.
That's my next question coming at you.
Oh, go ahead.
And that is, in fact, the commentators on the weekend were talking about it. And if you watched any of the coverage, by the way, the ratings, Saturday's ratings on CBS, I don't have the Sunday ratings yet, but I suspect if Saturday is an indicator, Sunday is going to be even more. 54% more viewers.
Oh, yeah, I believe
on
it.
Saturday.
It was electrifying.
69 on Sunday.
What was the
69
number?
on Sun-
69 on Sunday.
There you go.
Can you imagine that?
Oh, it was great. Watching what was going on. Anybody could have won
Is
there.
there any question why they show him on television? I mean, when you talk
Well, no,
about...
it was a question, but you had some other guys there. I mean, you got a guy that's outplayed him from tee to green 4 days in a row.
And that's what they were talking about, for an example, with Adam Scott and Koepka. They felt bad for those two guys because that was the final grouping of the day. And yet you looked at the crowds and it was 12, 15 people deep wherever Tiger was going.
Well, it's great. I've been to Augusta when we're out on the range, nothing's going on. Pretty soon you turn around, Steve's hitting balls. I'm watching him. And all of a sudden the stands fill up. What the hell's going on? Well, out struts the boy. He goes over there and he starts hitting and people are yelling. All of a sudden he's done. He leaves and all the stands empty out. There's nobody there. Clearly, he's a fan favorite and for good reason. He can really play. I mean, he is really good. A lot of drama, sometimes you got to be.
You think it's good for golf? Obviously, it's gotta be good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the people in TV got to be loving it. I mean, when you're up that kind of percentage and it's fine. And, maybe it's a good thing that we're putting this off for a while when he does win, and he'll probably play at the Ryder Cup anyway. So
we're going to talk about that in a little bit, too, because he wants to be on the team. He made that statement over the weekend. Kind of an interesting discussion on Mike Heller's show right before you and I come on with Talking Golf. Tiger at his best. And Mike was talking about some of the young bucks on the tour, and is that better than their performance? And as Mike was going down his list, Tiz is sitting here with his headset on and listening, going, yeah, I agree with that one. Wow, what the hell is he talking about on that one? So let's go quickly down the list.
All right.
Koepka versus Tiger.
As far as what?
At their best. Who wins?
Oh, Tiger's at his best by far.
Okay. Dustin Johnson.
Tiger by far.
Why?
Well, 14 majors will tell you why. Dustin Johnson tried to, he got 2 or 3?
And let's talk about Justin Thomas.
No.
No?
No. There's nobody in that period of time was as good as Tiger Woods.
I'm listing the top 8 on the Ryder Cup, but so that's Reed, Watson, Spieth, Fowler, Simpson, none of them.
No,
Is there anybody?
No.
At their prime versus Tiger at his prime of this group? There is not.
Not of that group. Nicklaus, maybe.
But on the current...
no. Nicklaus won 18 majors. This guy's won 14, and he's still got a ways to go. But the biggest thing with Jack Nicklaus is he was second 22 times. That's a bigger feat, it seems to me, than the 18 wins.
And Tiger, in terms of his performance overall, do you think, now that you've watched him, would you change your mind about him winning more major tournaments based on what you've seen so far?
He'll compete. His competition, though, is a little bit greater than when he was winning those tournaments. There are more guys now that have a chance to win. Just take a look at those guys you talk about there. I mean, these guys get going. I mean, Justin Thomas missed a lot of putts.
Yeah, he did.
He did. He missed a lot of putts, but put him right in contention. The other guy is not a good putter, and he putted great. The other guy, the English guy,
Adam Scott.
Yeah, he's not a good putter. He's putting this way and that way, and he
got an exemption to get into that tournament.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that have been something if he'd have pulled that off?
Yeah, there is nobody that I know that fundamentally swings better than him. Who is it?
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott. The closest one comes is Rose. Now, if you go back in history, the films that he was watching to groove his swing is exactly Tiger Woods' swing way back when he was winning.
What's he doing now where he's having trouble with his driver? Because basically that's where he had some issues over the weekend.
Transition was not as good. When he's hitting it crooked like that. I saw some of those that he tried to do. He's setting up for a cut and then, transition, you didn't make a good turn. So now he's going to go over it. A lot of that was going on. But he played pretty good. Like I said, his swing,
right,
fundamentally is as good. I mean, is good. But Tiger Woods has really improved in the last 6 to 8 months. He's very much like he was before. And his distance control, you'll notice, his distance control from 150 yards is way better than when he was winning tournaments because he was hitting pitching wedges over the green, remember?
Yeah.
Now take a look at that distance control that he's got.
So I'm not putting words in your mouth by saying he's going to win another major now. You're more confident than maybe than you would have been 6 months ago.
I think what he needs to do is win a regular event first. Majors, he's going to be in there. He can do it. He's got all the drama, all the things to do it. He played as good as he's ever played in that tournament in the last 3 days.
64 in the final round.
Think about it. Yeah. How many 64s has he shot in major championships? He played really great, and he couldn't overtake
Brooks Koepka.
No.
We're going to talk about him a little bit later on in the show. But we want to get to one of your favorite golfers that's probably got a pretty bright future coming up, a young lady named Bobby Stricker. Huh?
Yeah, she's pretty. I went down to watch her
over the
play.
weekend.
Yeah, I went down and watched, almost every hole. I kind of follow the creek there because going up and down those hills. But I have never seen, in all the years that I coached women golfers like her, no one has ever hit the ball that close so many times from outside of 160 yards. She outplayed those two professional golfers. If she could have made any kind of putts, and she had been putting really good. She made 9 birdies in that one time, 18 holes.
She made one 50-footer or something.
I saw that one on the 9th hole. She made that, but I could tell you, I can count at least 10 shots that she could have improved on without a doubt, and she will. Short game gets a little bit better. She drove it. Geez, I can't believe she hit it as far as all these people. She's not a physical specimen by no means. She's in really good shape, but her her lower body is great. Her upper got to develop even a little bit more. She's not even 20 years old yet, but she different than all the other girls and a lot of them who I teach who can't wait to get to the tour, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one here can't wait not to get to the tour. I mean, she'll tell you that too. But I think that I can see inside that competitive juices that she had. But she did. She missed a lot of putts. I mean, a lot of putts inside of 10 feet.
Now, the statements you're making about her, I know you well enough to know you're being close to her and a family member. That has nothing to do with it. You honestly believe that?
Oh, no, you can't, you can't live that dream. She is or isn't. And me, no filter on stuff anyway.
Exactly.
That, I watched her going around and probably the biggest thing was the deportment that she had from time one. I knew she was tense. Never, ever saw it where there was a shot that went crooked someplace that had no control. There was none of that. And missed a couple of fairways. I can remember that. And every time she did that, she was strong enough to get it out. But going around, it was her dad all over again. And being able to play, concentrate, be gracious on the course, watch what's going on, not get in the way of other players and that type of stuff is very much the same. So, we were kind of proud of her. We spent a lot of time sitting around the fire. Yesterday, we got a fire pit, sit around so you can talk a little bit. Mm-hmm. And what was coming out of her mouth as to where she is in her life as it relates to school, getting into the journalism school now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she's focusing on. And she can't wait to play on the team. She's played.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, she played. Well, she's going to be on in a little while.
Yep, we're going to go to her right now.
Yeah, and you get to hear a little bit of what that's about. And the little one finished second today, by the way. I got to throw that in there.
Oh, yeah.
She was down in Janesville. She had 87 now. She's 12 years old.
So she finished second?
She finished second, yeah. to
a little competition will develop.
She'll tell you that she wants to beat her sister. That's what she wants to do.
We'll be back with Bobby Stricker after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
With elevated tee shots featuring majestic 30-mile views into the surrounding bluffs and expansive greens that are fast and true, Wild Rock Golf Club in Wisconsin Dells should be on your must-play list this season. 5 sets of tee boxes challenge all skill levels, from scratch golfers to resort guests. Numerous lodging options and amenities are also available. Wild Rock Golf Club at the Wilderness Resort in Wisconsin Dells. Call us today at 608-253-4653 or book online at wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
He dreams of playing in the big leagues, which is taking a toll on your dreams. Most people don't think about their home insurance until something happens. But talking to an American Family Insurance agent today can mean your dreams have better protection tomorrow. Visit amfam.com/home for a quote and see if your insurance measures up. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
In today's world, we're more plugged in.
All right,
than
she's
ever.
ready to
And
go.
we don't think twice when we flip the switch to turn on the lights or boot up our computers. We count on the stable, reliable transmission of electricity. And that's what American Transmission Company is all about. We don't generate electricity, but our grid helps energize your everyday life. We're the vital link between power production and the people who count on it. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
At Oak Park Place, they understand there are some loves that last a lifetime, like the love of the game, and they celebrate those things that make you uniquely you. Their community of friends, family, and caring staff provide support if you need it, while you enjoy your independence when you want it. Because they know that sharing memories of time well spent is just that. Time well spent. Learn more about senior living at an Oak Park Place near you. Visit oakparkplace.com.
The critics are raving. It's the hottest reservation in the city, and people wait months for a table. And now, it's finally time to take your seat behind the wheel of the 2018 E-Class at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. This is performance at its most tasteful. Refined power and Mercedes-Benz luxury with enough turbocharged torque to get you back in time for dessert. Visit MBUSA.com/E-Class to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Wisconsin. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Wisconsin so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
W265CV Madison.
Back at Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Dennis Tiziati, I'm Paul Brown, and joining us now is Bobby Stricker, who played in her first Symetra Tour event over in the Milwaukee area this past weekend. Bobby, thank you for joining us on the show. We chatted with you a couple of weeks ago after you won a tournament over there, earning the right to play in the Symetra event, and you played very well. Obviously, a lot of people are very proud of your efforts. Dennis has been talking about what he saw, but how would you describe the weekend from your side of things?
The Symetra Tour event or the tournament that I won? Which?
Right, but I mean
Symetra.
this past weekend.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yes, it was an awesome experience. To be able to test my game at a different level than I ever have before against, some different players at a different level than I ever have before, and I was really proud of my efforts. I had a ton of fun. I met some new people, which was really cool, and had a lot of support, which was nice.
What did you most proud of in terms of your efforts from your thought process?
Yeah, the first day I was really nervous. I think I shot 5 over, which even that day, even though I shot what I shot, I thought I handled, my emotions, my anxiousness really well. And just staying, I guess, level-headed and focused on, what I know how to do. And I thought I did everything kind of pretty well.
Dennis, you mentioned that's one of the things that you looked at when you watched Bobby play, is you knew she was nervous or whatever, but she didn't show it. That's a tough thing to do.
Well, it was a nervousness that never creeped into her game. And she's being, she did play the last 27 holes and 1 over. And that made 1 50-footer. And I kept saying, I'd give up that 50-footer to make about 6 or 8 of those 8-footers or 10-footers that she missed,
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Oh, man. And, I think that what she learned, she playing in the afternoon, you can agree or no, that the greens are longer and the speed changed on the greens for her. And I could see that, and then, she drove the ball really good. I saw some shots that from 150, 60 yards that were the par 4 where I think I told you Tiger made a hole in one. What hole was that, honey? 14, is it? Anyway,
yep.
Yeah, 14. I think the 2 girls hit it to the right. And she just took her utility wood and in her. It was about 8 feet underneath the hole. I mean, shots like that I saw, that I had an opportunity to look at a lot of collegiate girls play golf. And she was as good as anybody that we've had here.
Bobby, let's talk about your game. Where do you think you've improved, and what are the best parts of the way you're playing right now? What do you see?
Yeah, I'm a lot more consistent than I ever have been. My misses are not as drastic as they were. Being able to play them, if I do miss it, it's, fairly straight instead of left or right, which obviously helps. And my short game, I'd say. The putting, more so than the chipping, I feel like I've really improved on, and something that I can really rely on, which is when you get up to a green, really, makes you really confident, knowing that I can 2-putt from really anywhere.
Having that kind of success at an early part of your career, does it change your thought process at all for you in terms of your thoughts on golf and where you may take it and what you're doing?
Yeah. You know what? I really haven't sat down and thought about it, to be honest with you. I don't want it to change my outlook, I guess, because I feel like I have a fairly nice one right now where I don't really put a lot of pressure on myself for how I'm going to perform or what the future holds. I kind of just take it day by day and, practice every day, work hard at it. And I'm really, encouraged and proud of where I am right now. And I hope that if I just keep doing what I'm doing, I can exceed a lot of my expectations that I had before I started all this.
We're chatting with Bobby Stricker. And Bobby, one of the things to obviously look forward to, and I'm sure you are, last year, consistently, you did not play on the UW women's team, but with graduations and with the success that you've had and the increased performance as far as your abilities are concerned, I would think looking ahead to this season for women's golf would be something that you would be very much looking forward to.
Yeah, for sure. My summer tournament season is over, so that's my next next big thing that I'm working towards and have been all summer. That's the main focus. So, I'm so excited, and I really hope, those couple qualifying opportunities that we get at the beginning of the year that I keep on with my good play. And I'm super excited for this coming fall and spring, just to see, and the girls that are coming back too. We have a really strong team coming back. We're fairly young compared to what we had last year. We had like 4 seniors and 1 junior. that played on the starting five. So, compared to that, we'll be, somewhat young. But I'm really excited to get back with my team and start working at some goals that we have.
You pinch yourself once in a while. You think about your high school career. Predominantly, it was tennis. You were an outstanding performer there. You obviously come from a golfing family. With what's happening right now, do you kind of look in the mirror some mornings and go, wow, this is kind of cool, right?
Yes, every day.
Really?
Yeah. I was given a very, very, very cool opportunity from Coach Orline to be able to walk on this team. And, without him letting me be able to do that, I obviously wouldn't be where I am. And, it's something that I've dreamed about as a kid, growing up. Even in high school, I told my coach, I think after my sophomore year of tennis, that I was going to quit and I was going to play golf my last 2 years, because I'm like, how the heck am I going to be able to play golf in college without playing golf in high school? So I actually told him that, and obviously that didn't end up happening. But I'm just, the opportunity that I have is so awesome, and I'm just going to keep working hard and try to make that team this year, which would be a huge, huge goal and a really cool thing.
Dennis, it's got to be a neat thing for you, too. I mean, when you look at this whole environment of what's going on and that kind of thing, you got to be very proud of this. And your whole life, for the most part, has been involved in golf. And this has got to be something kind of special that you see developing here, not only with Bobby, but the interest that Izzy has in the game,
right,
too.
Both of them are, they're doing good, but they're taking it a little step at a time and moving along and take what's given to them. I had a very good conversation with Coach Orline. Over at the tournament. He was over to watch it, which I thought was really good that he would do that. And some of the things that he expressed and me listening to what he has to say, that he's on the right track also for promoting golf and players and the like at Wisconsin. And he has some real potential that's coming back. And to continue to developing them and to let the girls develop a little bit more. I'm hoping that they can get playing more on the course than they have before, because that's really what they need. Drills and the stuff are good. I think they're good, but playing is the key, that they should play golf. So, it's really good to see what's happening. And, I have the conversation with Steve and have to remind him, where the athletic chromosome really is. Yeah. And it's an X. So he had nothing to do with these two girls. That's not true. That's not true. He spends a lot of time with them, and he walked every hole and fretted at every missed putt and the like. And so it's fun for him. It's a real good diversion for him. What's going on is that he's being able to go ahead to be with the two girls, and then now, like today, he left them and he's ready to go. We had to spend a good couple hours today again, and he's ready to go. Wouldn't surprise me if he'd win just like that. I mean, as good as he's putting, I think he got a couple lessons from Bobby putting. That's what I think. He's putting like Bobby putts, and we talked about that over and over again. But he's putting, the same way she does now.
Bobby, I only have to put up with him once a week. I can't imagine what it's like putting up with Grandpa 7 days a week, 365, huh?
Oh, I love it. It's so awesome. We get along so good.
And I would imagine it's unexpected, too, because you're never sure what's coming next, are you?
That's so right. That's so right.
Bobby, thanks for joining us, and congratulations on your efforts. Keep it up.
Okay, honey.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Right. That's Bobby Stricker, and we'll be back after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
He dreams of playing in the big leagues, which is taking a toll on your dreams. Most people don't think about their home insurance until something happens. But talking to an American Family Insurance agent today can mean your dreams have better protection tomorrow. Visit amfam.com/home for a quote and see if your insurance measures up. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Hi, this is Dave Gary, and it's open house time at the Princeton Clubs. Come see what our clubs are all about. Try a class or just relax in our pools. Visit any of our clubs for free during our open house going on now. With more locations, more amenities, and more free classes, there's never been a better time to be a member of the Princeton Clubs. I think you'll be surprised how much better you'll feel just after a few visits. Plus, with our express locations all over the Madison area, you'll never be more than a few minutes away from your next workout. As a member, you'll also have access to Cherokee Country Club's outdoor pool to make the most out of your summer. So come try the Princeton Clubs today. Get inspired and start feeling great again. We keep our clubs spotlessly clean, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and with free childcare and no joining fees. And if you're ready to step up to the Princeton Clubs, we'll even buy out your current membership somewhere else. The Princeton Clubs, voted Madison's best health club year after year. Visit PrincetonClub.net for more details.
At Oak Park Place, they understand there are some loves that last a lifetime, like the love of the game, and they celebrate those things that make you uniquely you. Their community of friends, family, and caring staff provide support if you need it, while you enjoy your independence when you want it. Because they know that sharing memories of time well spent is just that, time well spent. Learn more about senior living at an Oak Park Place near you. Visit oakparkplace.com.
With elevated tee shots featuring majestic 30-mile views into the surrounding bluffs and expansive greens that are fast and true, Wild Rock Golf Club in Wisconsin Dells should be on your must-play list this season. 5 sets of tee boxes challenge all skill levels, from scratch golfers to resort guests. Numerous lodging options and amenities are also available. Wild Rock Golf Club at the Wilderness Resort in Wisconsin Dells. Call us today at 608-253-4653 or book online at wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
Right now, Cherokee Country Club is offering outstanding introductory golf memberships. You can join Cherokee as an individual member for $2,400. Depending on your age, you can get a family membership that starts at only $2,900. Check it out for yourself. What you're going to find is the best deal in Madison when it comes to joining a golf club. And by the way, your membership also allows you to use all of the facilities at the Princeton Club and the Madison Club. If you're a business owner, Cherokee offers a voucher golf program that allows you to purchase 20 rounds of golf, good for 18 holes with a golf cart, for only $1,000. What a great way to entertain your clients, customers, or employees. Cherokee also offers memberships for swimming and indoor and outdoor tennis. And the public is welcome to use the driving range, restaurant, banquet facilities, or book a wedding there. For more information, call 249-1000 or visit the website at CherokeeCountryClub.net. We're back on Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and joining us now is John Morissette, who's competition director and marketing at Erin Hills, so over in the Milwaukee area. John also has an extensive background on dealing with the rules of golf. And John, first of all, welcome to the show. Dennis, we're going to talk about rules of golf. There's some changes coming up in those kind of things. But before we get into the specific discussion about some of the changes, John, from your perspective, what is it important for everybody to realize that plays golf about the rules of the game that they don't think about on a day-to-day basis?
That's a good question, Paul. And I think with the, new code, an awful lot of thought and work has gone into it. And, some people are a little, apprehensive, because let's face it, everybody, whether it's golfers or spectators or rules officials, they're going to have to go through a fair amount of reprogramming. That, not just do we have to learn the new rules, but we have to forget the old rules. But still, that should not be that intimidating. We just have to be aware of it. A lot of good thought has gone into it, and we just need to be aware of the key changes, which we can talk about tonight. But the rules in general, I think, perhaps the healthiest approach for people to take with the rules is to start off with the assumption that the rules of golf make sense. Don't fight them. Go approach them with the belief that there must be a specific reason why a certain outcome is the way it is. And if you go in there with a positive attitude and you don't fight the rules, then the things will go well from there.
John, realistically, Dennis, you can chime on this too. I'll ask John first. If you take 10 golfers and line them up at any course, public or private, in the state of Wisconsin, you think 9 out of the 10 people would know even half of the rules of the game?
I think that would be pushing it. I think that'd be optimistic to think they would, and that's one of the points that the new code addresses. That it actually addresses, several misconceptions with the current rules, and provides some more kind of intuitive results that I think people would expect. A little bit more of a kind of no harm, no foul approach. For example, today, if I'm looking for my ball in the rough and I actually kick and move it, I get a penalty stroke and have to replace the ball. Next year, I still have to replace the ball, but there's no penalty stroke. So part of the thinking is, hey, if ultimately you play the ball from the right spot, and as long as the movement was accidental, why should there be a penalty?
Dennis, from your perspective,
you're looking at me like I should chime in here.
Yeah, because obviously you have a 50-year history with the game and
Right.
that kind of. What honestly do you think about the rules of golf?
Well, I think they're important. You have to have rules, and no matter what you do, you have to have some sort of boundaries, and that's what they are, boundaries. But if you take a look at, let's take WSGA, and supposing they have 50,000 people that are handicapped, right?
That's probably a realistic
and out of
number
those
in the state.
50,000, they probably have 1,500, maybe 2,000 who play competitively. That means there's 48,000 people who don't play competitively.
So you say they're not playing by the rules?
Well, I can tell you here, most of the guys have their own rules. They're playing as a group, and they have their own. So the only time they ever use it. But I'm liking some of the new ones they have. One that I didn't think they addressed was out of bounds. Why is that 2 strokes for out of bounds?
John, you want to respond to that one?
Yeah. That's a tough one. And that's one that even has some historical background. That back in the 1960s, the USGA actually experimented with a local rule treating out of bounds similar to, say, today what we call a lateral water hazard. If the ball goes out of bounds, drop within 2 club lengths of where it went out of bounds, and move on. And the USGA and the R&A didn't quite get there this time. Safe to say they discussed it a fair amount. But some of the items that or topics that could have come up in that discussion would be that, well, if the penalty for out of bounds becomes a little less, then are people going to become that much more aggressive and challenging out of bounds, and hitting it closer to other people's property, and indirectly could that lead to more damage? That's maybe a little bit of a stretch, but that could have been one factor with that. And there's also a little bit of the just the bigger philosophical point that if you've hit your ball out of bounds, you've actually hit it off the golf course, and that you could argue should carry a greater penalty than, say, just hitting it into an area of the golf course that's perhaps not that friendly, like a water hazard or bush or something like that. But it's safe to say that that's one of the things, just as Dennis said, that a lot of people have picked up on, and that could well be reviewed down the road. So I wouldn't necessarily write it off for good.
Right, but you hit it off the golf course because the guy who built the golf course sold lots on the side of the golf course.
Well,
and that's why
really
they hit
right.
it off the course. I mean, off the property. I mean, and you're saying about aggressive. I think that most people are aggressive just by nature, where they're going to hit a driver all the time. I got to see our club championship here just the last couple of days. The same people that are standing up there bombing a driver, the same people were now hitting an iron off the tee. So, again, They're aggressive, as we just stated, are aggressive because they want to see how far they could hit it. I mean, and that's the name of the game today. It's all they talk about is how far and how high. So it's normal that they would do that. I like leaving the pin in. That's a pretty good thing. That was I thought that was pretty good. I think if you ask people, what are the options in a lateral water hazard? I mean, how many people know how many there are? Do you know, Paul?
No, I think I know, but I'm honestly not sure.
Oh, here we go. I think.
Right.
What do you think?
I think it's 5.
That's right. There's 5 options.
Well, yeah, and then guess what? Next year there'll be 4, in part because that 5th one was so rare that it, to some degree, only served to complicate the rule.
What, the one keeping the point between you and the hole with no limit as to how far back?
No, actually, the one about going to the opposite margin.
No, but you see, now I have a hole, but I have a hole number 12. But that's a play on our course. Yeah, go 2 club lengths on the other side. It's a straight shot. 2 club lengths on the side that it entered. You got trees in your way.
All right. Well, I got some good news.
So 5 worked. You know. Do you know what the 5 are?
No, but I'm saying that in recognizing that there are cases like that where it is necessary, especially say a hole where you've got a lateral water hazard, then you have out of bounds on the other side of it. That if a player hits the ball, comes in the far side, to give him something other than stroke and distance, that next year the current so-called 5th option will be allowed by local rule, for courses that have a specific situation like that.
Right. We're chatting with John Morissette, who's the competition director in marketing at Aaron Hills, also deeply involved in the rules of golf. Let's go into some of the specific ones, and maybe we can give a brief explanation, John, of the changes that are coming up. How about the dropping procedure?
Yeah, that's going to be probably the most visible change. That today you have to drop a ball from shoulder height, and next year you're going to drop a ball from knee height, and that has several benefits to it. One of which is obviously the ball is not going to roll as far when it hits the ground, meaning that you're going to have far fewer redrops, and the ball is going to stay closer to where it really ought to be. So that will work well, but it's going to take a while, I'm sure, for everybody to get used to that, both in terms of doing it and just the way it looks. So we'll see.
So people won't be able to spin it now, huh?
Well, strictly speaking, you're not supposed to be spinning it today.
I can remember they used to throw it over your shoulder and spin it. You could you could spin it and do all that sort of things,
How about measuring and taking relief?
Yeah, well, one of the interesting things is that a lot of the relief procedures have been standardized, and whether it's with 1 or 2 club lengths, and that now instead of the current situation where you can choose your longest club, shortest club, something in between to measure with, that the club length is going to be considered your longest club, not counting your putter. So it'll be it's not going to be identical for everybody, but it's going to be very similar for everybody, which makes sense.
Here's one that'll benefit me: removing the penalty for a double hit.
I thought you were saying you have to get rid of left-handed clubs.
Yeah, and Paul, and that's a great example of the type of changes that are being made. Because when you double hit a ball, obviously you've done something wrong. You didn't do something you intended, and you don't get a great result usually in terms of where the ball goes. It was accidental. You didn't really benefit from it. So why penalize the player for that? Why not just say count the stroke you originally made and then go play the ball wherever it wound up with it without any
Andy
penalty?
North is not going to like you.
Right? Well,
TC Chen double chipped. If it wasn't for the double chip, he wouldn't have won the Open.
Yeah. I wonder how the 85 Open would have turned out.
That's right. There you go.
How about the elimination or reduction of the ball move penalties?
Yeah, and again,
that's a good one.
A little bit what we touched on, going back a little bit towards the philosophy of kind of no harm, no foul. That as long as the player ultimately plays the ball from where he should, does it matter if he accidentally kicked it while searching, that for it, or if he accidentally moves it on the putting green. No. As long as he ultimately plays in the right spot, that's the most important thing.
And we talked a little bit about the putting, and there will be no penalty if a ball on the putting green hits an unattended flag. How about the relaxed rules for penalty areas?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. Penalty, and this is going to be one of the hardest things for all of us. We need to learn some new terms. That penalty areas include what today we call water hazards, but also committees are going to have greater leeway to define areas that aren't naturally water hazards to be penalty areas. Could be, just an area of tall grass or really thick bushes, or something that where the committee might think that the stroke and distance penalty is too severe. That if a committee wants to, it could mark it as a penalty area. And so one of the things that's interesting with the new rules is that they're putting more emphasis on what today we call lateral water hazards, where you have an additional option, the option of dropping within 2 club lengths before the ball crossed the hazard margin. And that's going to be the default position. But then if a committee really wants to, it can mark a penalty area yellow and take away that 2 club length option. So something like, say, 12 at Augusta, where the committee might not want a player whose ball lands up at the green, spins back in, to be able to drop up at the green and have a straightforward up and down for a bogey.
John, can you hang on for a minute? We got to take a break, and we've got about 3 more we'll talk about when we come back after this timeout on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
You wake up in the morning, turn off your alarm, flip on the lights. With the push of a button, TVs, radios, coffee makers, and computers come alive in our homes. Automation and technology are keeping local businesses running and the economy growing. You don't think twice about all that powers our everyday life. We count on the stable, reliable transmission of electricity. And that's what American Transmission Company is all about. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
At Oak Park Place, they understand.
Yes, this is break 3. You have 1 more left.
You, uniquely you. Their community of friends, family, and caring staff provide support if you need it, while you enjoy your independence when you want it. Because they know that sharing memories of time well spent is just that, time well spent. Learn more about senior living at an Oak Park Place near you. Visit oakparkplace.com.
The University of Wisconsin Golf Course, University Ridge, has been voted Best of Madison and is the proud host site of the PGA Tour Champions American Family Championship. Our course, designed by the world-renowned Robert Trent Jones Jr., is yours to play without a costly membership. The award-winning golf shop at University Ridge offers high-end Badger apparel you won't find anywhere else. And when you're off the course, enjoy excellent food and drink with friends at the W Grill. Play where the Badgers play, University Ridge.
He dreams of playing in the big leagues, which is taking a toll on your dreams. Most people don't think about their home insurance until something happens. But talking to an American Family Insurance agent today can mean your dreams have better protection tomorrow. Visit amfam.com/home for a quote and see if your insurance measures up. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
The mighty Blue Marlin. You've battled for 2 solid hours. He jumps again. He's almost at the side of the boat. It's the moment of truth. Because there's never been a better time to test drive the 2018 Mercedes-Benz GLC. With a smooth 9-speed transmission, it loves to run. Set course for your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Visit mbusa.com/GLC to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Wisconsin. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
30.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Wisconsin so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
We're back on Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and John Morissette is with us. We're discussing the new rules of golf for 2019. John, just a quick comment. We've only got a couple of minutes left here. In terms of relaxed bunker rules, relying on player integrity and pace of play support, which of those are important, or a quick highlight from your side of it on those three?
I think a lot. And certainly pace of play, it's safe to say, is important to everyone. And there are several changes the USGA and the R&A are making to support that. One you mentioned was now or in next year it'll be okay to putt with a flag stick in the hole unattended. And also, another one that it seems severe, but I think in practice it won't have that much actual effect, is reducing the amount of time you're allowed to search for a ball from 5 minutes to 3 minutes.
Yep. How about the relaxed bunker rule?
Yeah, that's interesting. That now, next year, you're going to be able, for example, to remove loose impediments from a bunker. So if you're in a bunker with a big pine cone behind your ball, it's okay to toss that pine cone out as long as the ball doesn't move. And the thinking is that that pine cone was not intended to be part of the challenge of playing from that bunker. There are plenty of other challenges with that bunker, but the pine cone or leaves or twigs don't necessarily have to be part of that anymore.
Well, John, we're out of time, and you're intricately involved in this, have been for years, and thank you for everything you do for the game of golf. It should be interesting to see what impact the new rules have, and we appreciate you coming on the show.
All right, my pleasure. Thank
thanks,
you, Paul,
John.
Dennis, and nice talking with
Thank you.
And Dennis, we're running out of time, but I want to get a quick comment from you on a couple of things here. Ryder Cup, in a way, the Ryder Cup window is now closed. They have
8 people.
Yeah, 8 people.
Yep.
Koepka, Dustin Johnson, Thomas, Reed, Watson, Spieth, Fowler, and Simpson are in. Furyk is the captain, and he said 2 key factors are going to determine who the other 4 picks are. Ability to pair with the other players is going to be integral, number one priority. Guys that potentially could get hot in the playoffs. Let me give you 4 or 5, maybe 6 more names that are going to potentially be the 4 spots. Bryson DeChambeau.
No.
Phil Mickelson.
Maybe.
A maybe.
Well, it's maybe because he provides a lot of stuff behind the scenes. You don't have to play him every round. You can sit him out 1 or 2. So I say maybe there.
Tiger Woods?
Definitely.
So he's in your mind.
Oh, well, if he continues like he's doing, he definitely is easy to play with. Can you imagine having him as a partner? And Steve had him as a partner when he was not doing very good. So I can tell you that it wasn't good to have Tiger Woods because he was out in left field.
How about Kistner?
Very much so. Competitor. Tough.
Okay, so basically
Good putter.
You got Schauffele, Kuchar, and Finau.
Schauffele for sure.
And then you're down to Kuchar, Finau, and Mickelson.
And Kuchar, has a good play. He's a good guy to play with. Easy to pair. Good guy. Finau's got a ways to go yet.
We'll be back after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Hi, this is Dave Gary, and it's open house time at the Princeton Clubs. Come see what our clubs are all about. Try a class or just relax in our pools. Visit any of our clubs for free during our open house going on now. With more locations, more amenities, and more free classes, there's never been a better time to be a member of the Princeton Clubs. I think you'll be surprised how much better you'll feel just after a few visits. Plus, with our express locations all over the Madison area.
Give me a second here. All right, this is going to be back at 55-33, but I'm guessing you're going to be back with that second break. I'm going to say around 57 even.
Vital link between power production and the people who count on it. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
The University of Wisconsin Golf Course, University Ridge.
And I'm doing it again. 57:04 is when this break's done.
Our course, designed by the world-renowned Robert Trent Jones Jr., is yours to play without a costly membership. The award-winning golf shop at University Ridge offers high-end Badger apparel you won't find anywhere else. And when you're off the course, enjoy excellent food and drink with friends at the W Grill. Play where the Badgers play, University Ridge.
Right now, Cherokee Country Club is offering outstanding introductory golf memberships. You can join Cherokee as an individual member for $2,400. Depending on your age, you can get a family membership that starts at only $2,900. Check it out for yourself. What you're going to find is the best deal in Madison when it comes to joining a golf club. And by the way, your membership also allows you to use all of the facilities at the Princeton Club and the Madison Club. If you're a business owner, Cherokee offers a voucher golf program that allows you to purchase 20 rounds of golf, good for 18 holes with a golf cart, for only $1,000. What a great way to entertain your clients, customers, or employees. Cherokee also offers memberships for swim.
Dave, what time do I hit the end here?
Come to use the driving range, restaurant, banquet facilities, or book a wedding there. For more information, call 249-1000 or visit the website at CherokeeCountryClub.net. And we're back on Talking Golf and the Golf Effect Radio Network. We're almost out of time. 30 seconds. Phil Mickelson, should he be on the team?
I think that, I said maybe. And the reason I would put him on, because anytime you have a team, you have to have chemistry. They can't all be top-notch players that are duds or they don't clown around. Well, Kisner's a clown, right? And Mickelson, he's great inside of this deal. Tiger is kind of impressive. And our boy Kuchar, they can't beat him playing tennis. You see what I'm saying? You've got a whole bunch of people there that would be really well together. And so, that would be a reason I would say he fixed some of the chemistry that has to go on.
And one final thought. Remember, we have golf passes to sell for UW Ridge and Wild Rock in Wisconsin Dells. $50, including golf car and 18 holes of golf. $50 comes to the Golf Effect charity. You get an opportunity to take some friends and play 2 outstanding golf courses. Limited number of passes. There was only 50 per course when we started this. There's still some available. Go to the golfeffect.org website, thegolfeffect.org, and on there it'll say golf passes for sale. You pay for them on PayPal, and the passes are sent to you from Alicia here at Cherokee Country Club in Madison. Again, 50 passes to sell for UW Ridge and Wild Rock, $50 a piece. For Lexi Graytech and Dave McCann, Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Brown. We're out of time. We got 2 more rounds of this coming up, including next week, same time. So for now, from Madison and Cherokee, thank you for joining us. This has been Talking Golf.